What we've got here is a list of multiple games in here. Now, I wasn't going to add like a couple of them because I'm mad at them. But I added them because I tried to be a man of posterity and of gumption and of whatever the word is that says that I have character and I put on sweaters when it was cold out. Okay? There's a couple things, games in here you might not agree are survival games. There might be some on here that you think should be on here. Like I said, I don't care. But the ones that are here, we're going to rate them. Now, if there's something I feel 100% about, I'm going to do it. I don't care. If you are unfamiliar with these, the greatest, that means like the GOAT, the bestest, the toppest, this defines the genre. Great, freaking awesome, but it's not like the one. Good, it doesn't suck, but it's still good. You like to play it. Meh, you don't hate it. You don't like it, love it, it's just there. WTF, it needs to die and burn and never have existed. Let It Cook. This is a specific one I added to here because it's got potential. It hasn't been out for 12 years and still is an alpha. It's got potential. It could either be good or Let It Cook. I threw that in there just in case we want to use it and then never played it, okay? So that's what I've got here. Now, this is done in alphabetical order. We got them. Yeah, of course they're off episodes. That's why you think they're separate. They're totally different experiences. ASA and Arcus. Survival Evolved. They're different experiences. Ark Survival Evolved is a finished game. ASA is not. They are different. One's a heavy rip, the other one. I'm surprised they ain't gotten sued yet. So, I don't care what you think, Raven. Well, I kind of do, but I don't care. So, starting off. 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die is the granddaddy of survival games, I feel. You have the great granddaddy, but I feel like 7 Days to Die is one of the OGs. It's also a game that has been in perpetual states. Even though it's quote-unquote released now, it's still an alpha. It will never not be an alpha, okay? So, I'm feeling that is probably in a good character. Because the thing with me with 7 Days, too, you can finish everything and be done with it if you go at it hard for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, if you know what you're doing, right? Right? So I think that it should be probably in good or great. What do y'all think? Good or great? What do y'all think? Should 7 Days be good or great? Or do you think something else? Hey, Hollow, how you doing? I think it should be good or great. Y'all put your in there. You think it should be great. Carrie Joe thinks it should be great. Good. Let's put a vote up. Let's do a vote. We don't have Hulk here for voting, so I guess I'll do a vote. So what we'll do is do polls for this, I guess, if it's like this. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna type in the name of the game. And we'll put in 2 options, great or good. Okay, let's go. Because I'm on the fence for either one. I'm on the fence for either one. It's going at the top of there. Click it. You go ahead and click it and make your decision. This is just going to decide it. Again, as we fill this thing up, the games that are to the left of the same category are top of that category. As they go to the right, they're diminishing. So we'll see how it goes. I'm agreeing where the chat's going with the voting right now. Good. I agree with y'all. Good mods. Now, this is another stipulation for me. I should say this is that if you buy the game, anything that's auxiliary to it that's free, I believe is open game. So modded versions, 100%. If the free things for the game, that's where I'm going to bring it in. If it affects my gameplay experience of that specific game with mods, it will will affect its placement. That gives me more longevity and more things to do. Do you feel like Space Engineers is truly a survival game? I don't. All right. We have 19-9. We have 68% good, 32% great. I think we're good there. All right. So, we have Ark Survival Ascended. This is not Ark Survival Evolved. This is Ark Survival Ascended. This is a fresh game-ish. The company finally has learned how to make their survival game This is the game version that they're going to do. That's going to be the end-all, be-all version of their game. It hasn't been out long enough. They're still figuring out how to make mods not suck for mod creators to put up. So it has potential, I feel. The visual graphics great, but I'm talking the game itself. They brought in some QOL into the base game compared to the ASE. There still needs more stuff going on. I feel like if I put it in good right now, but I think it needs to go and let it cook. Because I think we need to see where they take this over the course of a year. I feel like it's in good or let it cook, and I feel like let it cook is the place for it, because in a year, then we can pass full judgment on it. It took Ark Survival Evolved a couple years to really become what it's become. So I feel like let it cook. We'll see more mod development happen for it, and we'll see how they bring in the maps and the whole experience will be. So I feel like that was one of the things. Like, I didn't try to think too much about these as I made the thumbnails, but yeah. Anyway, so y'all agree? Y'all pretty good with that? I think that's there. I know you're rash to the jump on it, Will, and I feel like you have a valid opinion for that, and you can feel that way. I feel like that in a year, if things don't develop in a pattern that has a better trend of how the game looks and feels to play and offers for one, them lacking, I don't think it deserves WTF yet. If they didn't change their pricing model after the first snafu because of the Nitrado crap and Snail, but I feel like the game itself, and what we've experienced so far, because the modded version we played of Scorched Earth actually felt pretty good. Reminded me of ASC some, and it felt like it was there. It just hasn't. I feel like it needs some more time, man. I feel like it needs some more time. You drive safe, Thonto. I think it needs some more time. So I disagree with you, but I understand. Now, I feel like there's 3 categories for this next game. Thank you for the eyeballs. No. Now, I feel like there's 3 categories that people are going to mainly feel for this game. I feel like we'll probably get meh, great, or the greatest. I feel like those are the 3 that y'all feel. I don't think anyone's going to really truly WTF it. I think you're probably going to be meh, great, or the greatest. I don't think it's going to fit in good. And I personally feel like most people are going to be like the great or the greatest or great. Oh, you're just trying to be like the different person, Graven. It's okay. Jester, you never really played the game. You've logged into it, but you never really played the game, Jester. You have no opinion on the subject. You have not ever really tried to play it. You put down 2 foundations. So, is it here? Oh my God! Hollow, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Now we got to think about the thank you very much, Hollow. Now we got to think about this too, what it's done for the rest of the genre too, because I had friends that knew jack about survival until this game came out, and I'm trying not to have a bias, so I feel like it's hanging out in these 2 spots. I feel like it's these 2 spots. I feel like it's these 2 spots. Because it's done so much. Think about all the offshoots we've gotten from this. Like, think of the RP stuff, like the Western. Whoever thought Ark was going to make a Western, turn it into a Western RP, you know, community projects that have happened to it, you know, things like that, all the other stuff on there. I'm saying my stipulations here is if anything is free to go with the game to expand the gaming experience, it counts. So DLC, I'm not counting like the extra maps, but there's other maps. There's free maps. All right. So with ASE, like what you have there with mods in there, it's in the great of the greatest. Do we want to do a vote? Do y'all want to? It looks like most people are saying great. How about we put 3 options up? We'll put greatest, great, and good. Okay. Are y'all good to vote on that? We'll do it. ASE, greatest, great, and good, because I'll throw that. I'm going to say at least great. Okay, and I feel like great's a solid spot for it, and I feel like it's going to be the top one of great, or close to the top one of the greats. So let's go ahead and start the poll up. Go and get your vote in. Vote it in. Let's see where we're at with this. Let's see where we're at with this. Ralph, God, press the button. Yeah, it's fine. And I feel like, you know, if that's what you feel, then that's what you feel. So get your vote in. It counts right now. Right now, there's a battle for greatest and great. Good is starting to catch up. This is a tight one. This is a very tight one between three of them. It might end up being that heavy. I feel like it might be best of great, because you see how many votes it's getting for greatest as well. Good, though, is tagging around the bottom. Get your votes in. If you feel this way, let us know what you feel. If you're in that chat and you want to be heard, now's the time. It's sitting there. Very divided. Very divided. Like, this is a close race. There's no more cooking for it, I feel, Ming. If that's your experience, you feel about the game, that's fine, Unlived. Also, too, like, it also spawned off, like, all the YouTube-ness, too, that still is happening today, like the syntax all the way through the other things, too, so. All right, it looks like we are sitting in great. I'm going to put it more on the, think of it as a higher end of great, too. So there you go. The next game is the most I've ever heard Masonator cuss in the entire existence of me ever knowing Masonator. This game made Masonator cuss about, like, you'd think, like, I don't even know the right way to say it. He cussed a lot. I cursed a lot during this, too. We were not mad at each other. The game pissed us off, but they did change the game after the fact. Astroneer. I feel like what it started out is not what it became. It is a coherent game. You have an ending-ish. You have a reason to go explore. The terraforming's there, though it's kind of a pain in the ass. With the server releases and the stability they've done too for multiplayer, it's moved into a good spot. I feel like this is, as much as I am like, I feel like I think it's good. I'm almost sad for saying that, but honestly, in my heart, I think it's a good. I don't think it deserves, it's the low end of good. I think it's low end good. Well, that's visual agree. Okay, I see you heavy on that one. I don't let the graphic style affect my opinion of it. It's the gameplay I get out of it and the experiences that I feel. But if that affects you too, I understand. So I think it's a low good. I'm just gonna go with low good. Like, if we get anything else that's good, this is going behind it, okay? Unless there's something that else there. So I'm gonna put it on low good. That's what I'm thinking. We're good with that? It has changed, and they've continued to add to it, Saboa. I agree. I met the devs, and they were more interested about the content creators I knew than to talk to me about their damn game when I met them. So that shows you where their head's at. Anyway. Oh, I forgot Dark and Light. It's not, but Atlas is here. All right, Bellwright. Let's see. I've never played Bellwright, so I can't. Okay, what do y'all think about Atlas? I feel like Atlas is straight up WTF. Yeah, I feel like that belongs like Grape Shot / Wild Card / whatever it was. It started off like so good too. It started off good. Like, my initial experience of it was good. And then when it got any closer to quote unquote endgame at the time, it dropped off too. Exactly, Bio. Exactly. Yeah, I still looked at patch notes, and then the mismanagement with Wildcard with Grape Shot and back and forth So, well, that's good. You had it, Will. I hear that, but I don't think it deserves it. I don't think it deserves it. I think it's a WTF for me. I also feel like there's interference of other things going behind the scenes that held it back from becoming more potential. But looking at it the way it is, I'm good. Especially like the server infrastructure type stuff as well. So it needed so many of it too. So yeah, I feel like I would WTF. Again, I'm not gonna say that it wasn't good at the beginning. The thing that made it good at the beginning was the community experience. I'm not gonna. If we had that kind of experience in another game, and with the memories have been there, and we would have never even thought of Atlas again. So, well, that's good, TG. So you have like the rose tinted thing going on, which is valid as well. I almost changed the I almost made the WTF category burn in hell. I almost did. I almost named it shite too, but I decided not to. So there's no dark and light here. All right. Bellwright. I've never played it. It looks like a rip off of Myth of Empires, which is a confirmed rip off of the ASC original coding. I've never played it, so I can't rate it. I can't rate it. So, and I'm not really interested in that because what happened with Myth of Empires, the lying they did, like, no, we didn't take the coding, no, we didn't, and then all of a sudden they're owned by Snail. Really, guys? Really? You're gonna lie? Okay, you can go lie somewhere else. Anyway. Right, POH. Well, I can't. But that's my only judgments on it, and that's what I felt like Bellwright is, too. That's awesome, Ming. All right, next is Breakwater. Now, this is developed by one dude. And if you remembered, it's the one that affects the tides. You can affect the water. Let me do this, watch. If you don't remember what game this is, well, that's probably a good reason here. But a lot of you, though, are like, Breakwater game. I did not like the UI in this game. Here's the official gameplay trailer right there. Do you remember this? I played it. Because it's all capital H's. Why would we pronounce it Poe when you do P-O-H? It's capital O, capital P, capital O, capital H. So I played this when this first was released for content creators, and I thought the UI was trash. At least the hotkeys were. I thought the mechanics were interesting. He's actually been constantly working on it, and I would probably throw this more in a let it cook situation because he successfully has added in co-op and done other changes and have expanded it, added things to go. I haven't gone back in and played it much before. I haven't played it much since then, but I feel like I need to at some point. And so I didn't have like a negative point of view of the game. It's IGN stuff, though. So I'd probably put that and let it cook. He's constantly updated. I'm actually in his Discord and following them on Twitter, and they've been updating it, and they've just released another new Titan that almost reminds you of like a flying water worm Titan thing and some other stuff in there too. So I'm gonna throw that in there. I think I'm gonna put it in there. A lot of I don't know how many of you know it, so it's still development happening and as one person. So I don't expect the development to go as quickly. For me, it's this. Okay, it's one of the greatest. Okay, I don't care what you say. For me, it's one of the greatest. But I want to know y'all's opinion, okay? I want to know y'all's opinion, okay? So let's do it. I'm going to put a poll up. I want to see what y'all think, okay? Conan Exiles, the greatest. I'm going to put more than just the greatest, great. I'm also going to put good, meh, and WTF because none of the other ones matter. There you go. You get all the options. You get all the options with this one. I think Conan is the game I can play without mods. That's how good the base game is to me. That says a lot. The modability of ASC is amazing, and it makes it very playable. So again, if I don't, whatever, I'm going to put it in the greatest slot. So like, but if I had to put things on the table, take ASE and remove all mods, take Conan, remove all mods, and use configuration files. You can change configuration files. I still feel like Conan's better. I have no idea. Alpha, are you going to put it in WTF? No one has chosen WTF or meh. So we have good, great, and greatest. 68% right now in greatest. If you have an opinion, throw it up there. I really like to get a real feel off the audience here. So, I feel like it's still the greatest, and some of the things I know that are happening to Hrothgar, the active development team and what they're allowed to do and what they're changing, keeps things in that realm for me, Hrothgar. But I understand too. So it looks like there is 67% that say greatest, 22% that say great, 11% that say good. No, it's not perfect. Just because perfect doesn't necessarily mean something's great. Well, I guess you're the greatest. The greatest doesn't have to be exactly perfect. The imperfections in it help bring character to things, people, games, whatever. So we're going to go with that. Everyone agrees with me. Well, not everyone, but the majority agrees. Let's go with the majority agrees. Not everyone does. There's some for great. Why would you, those who did good, who would you be willing? Oh, we got one from Meta. What would you, who would like to, do we like to express their opinion why they think it's just good, which is fine. I'm not going to tell you, like, you can't have a different opinion. But does anyone that chose good want to explain why they chose good? Because I'm interested in knowing. I'm interested in knowing. Okay, if that wasn't your cup of tea, that's different. That's valid. That's a valid thing. Your face isn't a cup of tea either, but I hope it's not, because that'd be kind of weird. Anyway, next up we have Empyrean. This game has been out. I understand that, Loopy. That can make a sense. That makes sense to me. This is Empyrean. This game has been out for a long time. The game has developed a lot over time. I feel like it's in the good category-ish. I think it's better than Astroneer. I think it's better than Astroneer. Now, it's not everyone's cup of tea. That's fine. I like it. The building options we have in that with hover vehicles, small vessels, capital vessels, and then base building, along with what they've done for a storyline, and now that they have Funcom publishing for them too, and they're producing LDLC type stuff for it, I want to put it in the good one. Several people think it should be meh. I feel like it needs to be in good above Astroneer. Anything that's free counts to me. Again, Snores. That's regardless with or whatever. I still think the base game itself is good. I think if it's good and I like it better than Astroneer, like if I had to put those on the table, I'd play that. And I feel like, although I'd like 7 days more. So I know some of you probably meh, but it's not your thing. Not everything's everyone's thing. There's a couple games I think are meh, but I believe they have a good rating. They should have a good rating. All right. Do you agree that it's better than Astroneer? Will, do you like it better than Astroneer? Like, how long did you play Astroneer for, Will? Like 5 minutes or not at all? So if that's the case, then all right. Enshrouded. Well, there it goes. Enshrouded. Personally, how I feel right now, it's one of this. But there is so much potential. Like, they got the parts. It doesn't have the it. I said that when we were doing the stream for the drops. It has, like, these good parts, but it doesn't have the it. So I really feel like maybe it should be in Let It Cook. And maybe after that, I think in Let It Cook would be a good spot. And because they're the parts are there. I just hope they find a really good it. Like, but if I were just to leave it standing now, it'd be in a high meh for me. Huh. I would almost maybe I need to move Astroneer to meh, because I would actually play Enshrouded over Astroneer, but I'm feeling Enshrouded is a meh. I think I might move Astroneer to meh. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Should we change Astroneer to meh? Here, let's vote. Let's vote. I'm enjoying the voting thing. So let's see here. Astroneer to meh. And we'll do yes and no. Meh. I would do good, and we'll do meh. So choose good if you think it should stay good. Choose meh if it's meh to you, okay? So I feel like I should probably move it to meh. I'm feeling meh. It looks like those in the chat are feeling it should go to meh as well. It's our first meh. I don't think there's any way it's going to come back. Vote if you need to vote. We need the votes. Because a few goods are coming back in. There's a few goods coming back in. All right, it's moving down. There ain't no way. Unless we get a run on good. If we get a run on good, I'll wait. But it looks like we're getting more and more mess. All right, meh. It's metting. It's metting. There's no way. There's no way. All right, Astroneer is our first meh of the evening. The next one. I feel like this is a love or hate for people. Hey, Kyle, what's up? I feel like this is a love or hate. Those who hate it, either A, probably don't like Fallout in general, like the game style feels, or only played it at the very beginning and had a negative thing. What it's become has been a lot better, and I enjoyed it initially, and so I don't think so. I feel like I didn't care about that, Hollow. That didn't bother me. I don't think it deserves great. I think it's good. I like to go back to it, though. I do like going back to it. I think good is in a good spot. Then go play Fallout 4, Bing. That's basically what it would be then. I think the community stuff and the other stuff in there is good, you know? I agree with you, McNinja. I think it's like go back and touch on it, so... By the way, it's fine, Bing. I'm just giving you crap. You're welcome to have a different opinion. It's not on this list, so I'm not put on the list. If it's on the list, it's on the list. If it's not on the list, it's not on the list. Play it for 41 times then, Minge. I'm going to throw it in good. I have a hard time if I would play it. I have actually gone back to Fallout 76 more than I've gone back to Empyrean. Now, understand the gap between these two games right here. I don't know. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there for now. I'll leave it there for now. That feels like a decent spot. Now, Forever Skies. This is a fresh game to the genre, but I think it's defined pretty well. It needs more content, but the game itself, the mechanics are there. The building is in there. The survival, the things going down. I feel like it's almost Subnautica in the sky-ish, but not really. I feel like needs to cook, but I also already feel like it hits good. It's the airship one. It's the airship one. So I feel like this hits good. For me. Well, there's a space between them. There's a space between them. And I don't think 7 Days deserves great. I don't. But I feel like Fallout and Empyrean are bottom tier good. So there is a gap in there. There is a gap in there, but I don't think they deserve the great spot. They are still developing it. Pendrag, I feel like it's just missing like more content, like to continue with the story. But I personally I think it hits a good spot, like in betwixt, like in there. But if you think it needs to cook, those that have played the game, go ahead and vote on this one. I want to see what y'all think altogether. I'm gonna put it in good and needs to cook, and y'all let me know if you've played it. Okay, it looks like already a couple people are saying needs to cook. See, I'm in between the two. I'll put it here in the needs to cook section. It'll be above Enshrouded, but not past ASE. I feel like that's a good spot. If it's gonna be in let it cook, it needs to be a high let it cook. Oh, we got bouncing. Good is coming up. Good is coming up. Needs to cook. Got another vote. We're at half of that. Yeah, I think they're on a great path, though. They're on a literally great. I haven't gotten to it yet. Patience. Patience. We'll get there. And if I don't do the game, then deal with it. Okay, this next one is worse than Atlas. Frozen Flame. I had big hopes of it. They have changed the scope of this game multiple times, and they've dumbed it down so much that it's excessively boring now. It started off being really good, have enjoyable graphics for me. Gameplay felt pretty stellar. The building was on the right path. All the stuff was there. It doesn't need to cook because it's been cooking for 6-7 years. It's low tier WTF. It's like bottom barrel. They just need to give up. I think it's good too, Towson, but I also think it needs to cook if you're talking about Forever Skies. So Frozen Flame, yeah, I feel like they got burned out on making their game before they really got their game being made. I had hopes of it. I had positivity. I had the let it cook mentality for a few years. After the last couple times, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with that game. It has to be some magicalness or something for people. It doesn't have any. It's boring to play, and that's probably one of the last things you want is a boring ass game. Which brings me to the next game. This might be hotly contested. I would rather play Ashenir than play Green Hell. I would rather play Ashenir than play Green Hell. I feel like that game is not... I put in there because it is a survival game, but it feels more like simulation, micromanagement, expounder. But I feel like this is one that will tickle people. There's people that everyone has a little spot that tickles them just right. I feel like this will also tickle people, like that will hit the spot exactly for them. So I'm not putting it there disparagingly that it's a horrible game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me and my experiences in playing a survival game, it's meh, but I do respect it. Does that make sense? Greenhouse Spear, how do you, Loopy? Because you're colorblind. Okay, okay. So if you loved it, Hollow, that's great. See, there you go. You're one of the ones that got the tickle. You got the tickle. So that's great. And I got nothing to say to you that say you're wrong. I just feel like there is like a specific person or peoples out there that will play it and be like, oh, this is it here. And I can see that. The next one. I feel like it's actually goes straight to great for me. Whether you like the graphics or not, Obsidian did an extremely good job on this game. There's so much polish on it now. The boss fights are fun. The building is good. The grind feels profitable, like as in you get your gains in there. Combat's good. Now, if you don't like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids feel to it and the visuals, I understand that. But as the game goes, I feel like it's great. And I feel like it's on ASC's right behind it. You see how Fallout 76 is behind 7 Days to Die? I don't feel like Fallout 76 is on 7 Days to Die's nuts at all. I feel like Grounded is getting kind of close, and they're like, hey, buddy, hey, there's more room in this locker room. Slide on down kind of level. So I personally feel like it's better than 7 Days. It's polished. It's there. It's got gumption, and now with the new modes they've added too, I feel like it is. They've done a great job. I feel like they've done a great job. You think? I hear you, Will. I know you're probably more scrutinizing for it, Will. But as it goes from my scales here, I think this is a good spot. I think it's a great spot for it. Great spot for it. Last time I played it was up through until before the last major update. But I know what they've added because I've watched it. That's my job, Hikingers. So, does anyone heavily disagree about the great spot? I don't think it's the greatest, but I think it's great. You could tell it was a passion project too. You could tell the Obsidian was bowdy about making this a good game. Now, I personally don't care for the devs at Icarus at all. They don't care about if you're not Shroud, which is fine. But when people are getting demonetized on YouTube because of a snowstorm, that makes me not want to care about your game at all and will never stream it again or make content for it. That aside, Icarus is actually a pretty damn good game. I'm trying to be honest. I have bias here. Icarus is a pretty good game. Especially with the adding of the new modes that they've done. Even the base original game was pretty damn good. I like the mission drops and going there, getting your place built and stuff like that. I feel like it's a solid good concept. It had a little bit of that Deep Rock Galactic thing going on, but longer, initially. So I'm trying to have that not biased gesture, just the game itself, looking at it. I feel like it's a here spot for me. And that one clicked for you strongly, Pendrag. I remember you being big time about it, and that's fine, I think. But for me, I feel like it sits in right below the 7 days. I feel like right now as it stands, it might be able to slide in front of 7 days, actually. What do y'all think? Should it be in 1 or 2 of good? Let me put it up there. Let y'all decide. I put 1 or 2. This is for the good slot. Should it beat 7 Days to Die? I'm kind of on the fence with it, Taliesin, with that. I feel like because their progression systems, they have multiple progression systems between each mission. And then within the mission that I enjoyed, it had MMO-like skill trees as well. Also, you could catch your house on fire. Seems like a good number there. All right, we're keeping it at 2. We're keeping it at 2. We're keeping it at 2 right now, unless we get some heavy voting in. We're 71% for keeping it at 2. The gap between 7 Days to Die and Icarus is smaller than the gap between Icarus and Fallout 76. IMHO. Okay. I hate to be mean. Lens Island, that's also another small development team. They seem like great devs, great people. But the game, for myself, playing it's still being developed too. But it's been developed for a while. I think it's bottom tier meh. I would probably, though, play Lens Island before I play Green Hell. Oh! Thank you, Dragon Master, for the get this up. I feel like I would play Lens. No, that's not. No, the only grandma would be WTF for me. It has a fixed camera, almost like an ARPG type of camera, but it is a survival game with some combat features. It just feels like you. Maybe I should have put Green Hill lower. Maybe I should put Green Hill lower. All right. So if you don't know much about the game, again, the devs seem like great people. No, I don't want to put any shade on them, and they feel passionate about the game. It did not click for me. And I would probably play Astroneer over Lens Island. I feel like would be the case. Yeah, Dinkum was like, it doesn't even get on the list. That's how bad it is. All right, the next one is what I feel helped define the genre in general. When they added survival mode to Minecraft, it created that. It turned from the sandbox to sandbox survival. Now, my personal feeling is that it goes here because I like Conan better than Minecraft. But I have to admit, in general, I feel like this is what the Minecraft... People keep saying if using mods. I said, if anything's free that can help expand the experience, period, it counts. So this, I feel like this belongs up here. Now, the graphics, I'm not 100% guy with graphics, but it has done so much. It has such like, it's a mainstay in our just period in our world, you know. So if you let graphics dictate you like what a quality, like what's available in this type of game, I understand, but I think it's bad to be like, it kind of bores me every now and again, but I know what it is. I know how good it can be. Like the mod packs, to see what the mod packs can do. It is a genre definer. Your face is Minecraft right now too, Hollow. Very square. Great shaders too. Yeah. Whatever it is, right now we're talking about the game and whatever's free for the game. So I feel like it sits in this up in here. Wadget, have you played any games? I think Minecraft is better than 7 Days to Die. If you haven't played a heavily modded Minecraft before, Will, that's fine. Like Vault Hunters is freaking insanely good, and it's better than 7 Days to Die. Vault Hunters is better than 7 Days to Die. I'm sorry. And I like 7 Days to Die. I think Vault Hunter destroys it. I'm just picking on you, Wadget. So anyway. Thank you, Jester. I feel like we should put this up for a vote just to see what you guys think. What do you think? I know there are plenty of great 7 Days to Die overhaul models as well, and I disagree with you. They're not as good as the Minecraft ones, and I'm not a huge Minecraft player. I have to give credit where credit's due. If you want to argue about it, I'm not going to argue with it. But I respect your opinion if that's what you feel. Let's see what people feel though. Let's see the vote is. Let's do a new poll. I want to know. So what we're gonna have is the greatest as like number 1, okay, and then we'll put greatest right for after Conan. Then we'll do great. If I could spell freaking great, oh my god, greastest. What? Great, good, and meh. I just want to see what y'all think. It's up there. Oh, I'm just picking on you, Wadget. And that's fine. If that's what y'all feel, I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling that. I'm just telling you why I disagree and why, but it is where I put it where it is, because it brought the world. It also was able to bring in the 7 Days to Die. Now that kind of doesn't affect the gameplay, but I feel like all the different things you can do to that game to make it a game and have it still be a survival game is just top notch to me. Did I spell that wrong? I don't care. No, I didn't. So yeah, you're fine. Go ahead and choose other things. I'm not. Again, I'm willing to. I'm all about. It's fine if we disagree, and if you have your reasons too, Will, and that's fine. Or anyone else if you don't agree, but that's fine. Wow, there's people that think it's the greatest. There's a solid amount of the greatest. Yeah, I'm thinking about when I actually played the game. Yeah, I know this is like when I like Vault Hunters, like level of playing and stuff like that. When I actually played the game. Let's ban Hollow Soldier from the chat from having a differing opinion than the rest of us. Wow. Wow. Like, 53% of the votes say the greatest. That's fine. And I understand. And I got no issues with it. If there's a tie on greatest and great, good, and then meh, which it makes sense. No, Piper. I'm just doing it. It's just a list. It's just a list, Piper. Don't read into it. It's just a list. I mean, how many of these do we play anyway already? You know, we already play these regularly in a cycle, so. And just because I feel differently about some games than other ones doesn't mean I'm going to play some games with other ones. Oh, my God. Yeah, y'all play it for 2 days and quit. That's how y'all do for every game, all right? Except for some of y'all. I'm going to leave it where it's at, where I've got it now. I was interested in y'all. I feel strongly about this myself. It's not on there, Will. I actually didn't think of that. But it's too late. It's not going on here. I didn't think of that or Dark and Light. That list is very small, Wadget. It'd be a really quick one. Yeah, GoldenEye was freaking... Actually... Wolfenstein 3, we're getting off track. We're not going there. We're not gonna get to that. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's awesome. So 51% were like the greatest. I'm leaving it where it's at. Miss Survival. I've never played it. I've seen stuff on it, and it looked pretty good, like for what it was, but it didn't really entice me to jump in on it. I was like, eh. I don't know. I haven't played it, though, to pass judgment on. Has anyone else played it? You think it's good, Hollow? Anyway. Rope? I don't know what Rope is. Same with Muck. I went and looked at that. That's considered a survival game. But, yeah, anyway. So, this next one is going to be based on my experiences of what I had playing it when I did. I know its changes has been updated. I'm gonna remove my I have zero respect for the company because after what they said that it wasn't, and then all of a sudden what they are part of now means that it was, so they lied. I have zero respect for devs like that. I honestly got kind of bored with Myth of Empires when we were initially playing it. Now, we weren't playing it in PvP, and I feel like that game complements PvP more so than some of the other games we played. So, I don't know. I call it like, it's like bottom tier meh. Because I would play it over Atlas or Frozen Flame, or it's at top tier WTF from me. I feel like it hits a meh. Now, I also feel like a Jammer Fox, I assume that you like it if you're still here. I figure that you like it. I've seen there's been some updates on it, but I'm also not about promoting Snail outside of Ark anymore because they don't give a damn about you. They don't care about you at all. Snail gives it, not that they're supposed to care about each individual one, but they couldn't care less. Snail couldn't care less about you, and they're now published by Snail. So I'm probably gonna throw it in bottom tier meh. Because that's personal opinion about the devs and what they've done with the game versus the actual game itself, Pendrag. And that's where I'm trying to keep my brain at with it, okay? I'm going to put it here. I think it goes in the bottom tier meh for me. Because I was like hyped to play it at first. It was cool to go, but it was just so like... Now I gotta go do the thing. Great. All right, we did the thing. Let's go do the other thing. I didn't have Live is Feudal on here, but I've never played it, so there it is. Well, I played it for like 5 minutes. Yeah, it was off-putting, but the game itself, to me, was just like, when I was trying to do content for it, when I was slamming it out, I was like, this is getting very monotonous very fast. And the randomization of it, like, Ark does a really good job of making random-ass things happen in your face. So, and this game did. There's a village. There's lots of things in there. I'll probably get wrecked. I got wrecked. Ark is like, hey, I'm just going to go over here. Right? Oh, crap, what the hell? You know, and I like those experiences, so. All right, next one up, Nightingale. Now, I had very high hopes for this game when it first came out. I enjoyed the push we did on stream with it, too. But I feel like it needs to cook. I feel like this one needs to cook more. I feel like they've started off, they had their initial idea, and it needs to cook. I feel like it needs to go for some longer. Why do you meh? I'm just wondering what y'all think about the mess. Why do you think meh? And again, I'm all about if you have a different opinion. I'm interested in knowing your point of view of it. I feel like it has great bones. I feel like they need to relook at the building system and revamp that. That pissed me off, but I do like some of the progression. When I got to the end of it, I was like, why do I need to do anything else yet? But it's not done yet. It's not done yet. It hasn't even been out for a year yet. The crafting is good, yeah, and I know they revamped the crafting, so there's more stuff coming in. These are real devs from BioWare too. Like we're talking about not the EA people, but the actual real BioWare devs too. So I feel like it does a thing. So it did okay. So would you think Let It Cook would be good potential? There's a potential for you to fully pass Judgment, Hollow? Yeah, and that's what Let It Cook is for. That's what Let It Cook is for. Yeah, well, they've been working on that side too, Rothgar, where it's not plugged in. So, a very, very successful game from a company that I did not respect their original game. It felt like an asset flip, the original game. This game, though, Palworld. Mal, thank you for the Prime. Thank you, sir. The building is pure trash in this game, in my opinion. I know they need to work on it. I think that's awesome, though, the other stuff, man. I think some of the other stuff is freaking awesome. It's fun. I don't have any issues with it. I feel like it's either like it's high tier good, bottom tier great, or it needs to cook. Because I think if they'd actually take this money they've got and throw it into it, if I do that, I have Let It Cook in there too. Let's see what y'all think. Let's do that. Let's see what y'all think. We're gonna do a new one on here, okay? Because it's interesting to see like what it talks to people, you know, what you feel, you know. I'll put WTF in there and then Let It Cook as well, okay? So we got great, good, meh, WTF, and Let It Cook. Starting the poll now. Well, that's my thing too. So like, I don't want to go back until there's more to it. There was server issues as well, but I feel like it was part of the server providers too. So vote it up. Vote it up now. The vote is up there. Yeah, I want to wait till there's like a good chunk of content, Will, and I want to go back to it as well. I want to wait for it to get chunkier. Like those mini boss fights were fun. I hear you, Thonto. Looks like we've got, well, Let It Cook is winning. The next one is meh. That's great. Get your votes in. Get your votes in here. I agree with you, Max. I can see that. I can see that. All right, I'm going to do Let It Cook. I feel like it goes in between ASA and Nightingale for Let It Cook. Yeah, well, that it might be that, Will. You know, a lot of people don't like Pokemon games. Boom hates Pokemon games. You know, there's a lot of people, and he would totally say WTF on that game. Like, there's people that yeah, so that's fine. And when you're rating survival games, if that's not fun to you, then it needs to go to WTF, you know? Now, the next one might not be considered as much of one as other ones, and people might not like this at all. But I actually kind of like it. I actually kind of like it. I almost put it somewhere in good, personally. I almost put it somewhere in good. I'm not sure where. It's not as good as Icarus. It's not as good as... I feel like it could almost be... It's battling with Empyrean. I think, yeah, it's battling with Empyrean right now. Yeah, the endings do need work. I do agree. Let's do another vote. If y'all know about the game, is it better than Empyrean? That's what the vote's going to be, okay? Is Planet Crafter better than Empyrean? Yes, no. I'm leaning towards yes. I feel like 76 offers way more than Planet Crafter can do, and we're past that where it's destroying it. And I feel like Empyrean gets a bad rap too. They've done a recent graphics overhaul as well. Again, if it's free stuff for the game, it counts. So make your vote. If it's free stuff, it counts. It counts. Not I'm not sure be whatever you. I'm just saying. If it's free, it counts. If like free mods and stuff like that, freaking do it. I don't know what you're asking about, Sabo. I'm going to throw it here. Are you talking about 76? I'm just talking about 76 in general. It has more stuff to do. It's more fun. It's a fight between these two. And I understand you, Thonto. I agree with you, like, for that to a degree. But for me, out of my enjoyment to go back to it and wanting to play, I probably would do another thing in Planet Crafter before I would do Empyrean right now, as it stands. I'd take that as like, yep, there it goes, Max. There it goes. This next game was the biggest game. So much to it, so much potential, and I feel like the devs got sick of developing the game. The fight, what was the fight with the freaking explosive barrels and the pillars and stuff like that with the shark? Fantastic. I thought that was great. I enjoyed that a lot, figuring out that puzzle. And then we got to the ending. The progression didn't feel right because by the time you got all the stuff unlocked to do it, you already were pretty much within the game and you didn't care anymore. Unless you're just straight up for the builderizations, which is fine. The last boss sucked ass. The payoff was horrible. Absolutely bottom tier payoff. Like, I would rather do original Ark building than have to go through the ending of Raft again. Let me repeat. I would rather have to use original Ark Survival Evolved building than sit through the ending of Raft again. I'm going to put it behind Astroneer, I think. It still had some good stuff, but maybe because I've got fatigue on it too. Like I was all hyped about it too, like up until the end, and that's probably what's bringing me down to the meh category too. is because it was borderlining into like potential of a high-end good, like high-end good. But if I had to choose between playing Astroneer or Raft right now, I'd play Astroneer. I'd play Astroneer. The micromanaging that Raft ends up having to do, even with the upgrades later on, is so heavy. Along with no payoff, it just, you know what I'm saying? So the next one, it's a Granddaddy too. I don't like it. I like it better than Atlas. I like it better than Myth of Empires. I like it better than Green Hell. I probably like it better than Lens Island. I don't know. I almost give Lens Island credit over it. I don't think it deserves WTF. Personally, I liked OG Rust before they did the overhaul. I'd probably put it over Green Hell for me, but I respect it. I have to respect it. Yeah, Carrie Joe, that's where I'm at with it. Yep. I think it goes right here for me. Even the PvP-ness of it, though, I'm not as fond of. I'd rather PvP in Conan. I'd rather PvP in Conan. Personally, I don't care for it. Rust is where you gave your first teabag? Congratulations, Rothgar. Yeah, the PvE is okay. I don't know. Yeah. So, this next one. So, Scrap Mechanic Survival. What sucks about this is that what was originally laid out with it has potential for me in my enjoyment of a game. It might not be everyone's graphics and stuff, but what you could do in respects to it being a survival game was fantastic, but it is so limited. The devs are some of the worst devs, as in lazy, putting out content that I've ever seen ever. And we will probably get the first update to Scrap Mechanic Survival in about 2 years. So that means it'll be 7 years since Scrap Mechanic Survival came out that the first update will probably come out. They decided, they originally were, I think, building the game in Ogre, and then decided to build their own engine for it using the Havok physics system as a third party. And then blame the Havok system for it being so bad of a game, of the physics being so bad or whatnot. Apparently they've been working on optimizations and things, but they have had zero. They have milked their community for years, I feel. So, oh, Vamp, press the button. This thing, it does not deserve the Let It Cook category at all. This game has been out as long as I have been a content creator. How do I know this? Because the first month I was doing content creation, it was Ark and this game. I know. This game has been out for as long, but not survival. But they said that it's going to be survival from day one. It took them 4.5 years for us to ever get survival mode in Scrap Mechanic. I want to like it. It's not. I want to like it, but I don't know. I feel like I need to put it there for me. But I have some good funness. Well, when a creative came out, it was supposed to be there for them to prepare for survival, Saboa. Like it was touted for survival from day one. And if survival mode finally came out. But like what you get out of survival with the mods too. I'd play it over Myth for sure, and Green Hell. And maybe I'll put it here. Because the Fant mod is amazing for that, but there's some hard coding. There's some stuff that they just need to make a bigger game. There's not enough there. And Let It Cook is not for you because you've been out for many years. Let It Cook is for people trying to actually make their game good. Not people trying to hold out the game. You think Raft should go back some, you think? You think it should be like this? Actually, I'd play Scrap Mechanic before I'd play Raft. You're right. You're right. I would play Scrap Mechanic Survival before I play Raft. I think that's a good spot. I think that's good so far. I'd play Raft over Rust right now. I don't know. Wait, I might play Rust over Raft actually. But I definitely play Raft before Green Hell. Nah, I don't know. It's like those are next to each other. Those are like the same. Well, I'm not talking about creative. No Man's Sky is not a survival game. No Man's Sky is a sandbox game. It's a different type of game. I really like No Man's Sky, but it's not a survival game. I will fight people to the death on this one. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's a sandbox game. It is not a survival game. At no point do I need to worry about food, water, or anything. If I build a base, I'm not worried about anything destroying my base. Nothing. It's not, though. It's not a survival game. And good evening to you. Good to see you. Next one up, Smalland. I didn't like it. I was pumped about it at first. It got really boring for me. Well, let's see what y'all think about Smalland. It's changed hands twice. That was the other bug one. That was the other bug one. It's been cooking for 6 years. I don't think it deserves Cook. I think Total Blood Rain really liked the game too, which is fine if you like it. I feel like it is another one of those games where after you do the stuff, you go do the same exact type of stuff again for marginal stuffs. To go do the same exact thing you did before for more marginal stuffs. To go do the same exact thing again to do more marginal stuffs. It's been developed between two different devs, Heavy, for a long time. They did a pre-release to certain content creators 2 years ago, and all the content creators were like, this is trash. No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it, Silver Dragon. I don't watch that stuff. So that's what that game is to me. I agree with you. Maybe I had to move Myth of Empires over here. I think I'd rather move Myth of Empires than have move Smalland. I don't know. I'm kind of like I hate Snail though, but that's not the game itself. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there for now. All right. Sons of the Forest. By the way, this is organized alphabetically, so The Forest versus Sons of the Forest. I think it's all right. I think they did pretty good. There's something I don't know. I was enjoying it too. That was during I stopped playing that making content for it during trying to figure things out. I just lost connection. Are we good? Okay, I lost some connection there. It's been out though. How long? When did Sons of the Forest come out? Came out February of last year. I think it could be a Cook thing or like a mid-low tier good. Okay, thank you. I was like, something's going on. My internet's there for a minute. Yeah, Kevin chopping down was amazing. I forgot Zomboid. Good call, Assiler. But I hated that game. I can't play it. The controls are trash. No, I don't want to download a mod just to be able to make controls not trash. Really big. But yeah, that's a good SLR. Actually, it should have been on here too. I didn't think about that. I'm tempted to throw in and let it cook. Like a here spot, maybe? Like, I'm more excited playing updated versions of this than I am Sons of the Forest. That's fine. It's one of those two, SLR, that I feel like it tickles like certain people exactly right, kind of like Green Hell. That's what I feel like. I feel like those that like it are going to love it, kind of a game. Does that make sense? I feel like those that like it are the ones that are going to love it. I think Sons of the Forest should be right here. I don't think it's bad. Just my anticipation of letting things cook are left or right. I feel like that's a good spot. What do y'all think? Yeah, so there you go. There you go. I feel like Soul Mask is like Small Land, where it's the same thing every time, doing more things to do the same thing, to do more times to do the same thing, to do more times to do the same thing, to do more times to do the same thing. I'm going to put it at the bottom of meh, maybe somewhere at the low end meh. I'm going to put it in meh. I'd probably do it like that for me. Yeah, exactly, Zelly. I don't know. I think I'd almost play Green Hell before I'd play freaking Soul Mask, to be honest, again. Yeah, I think I'll put it there. Because I feel, I don't, and there's another thing too, the shadiness of the developers. They weren't really willing to talk about very shady in certain degrees of stuff. Let's not get into that. Anyway. All right. Does anyone disagree about it being low tier at least? Yeah, but even then, it still seems boring to me, Saboa. It's still boring. You know what I mean? Phil, press the button! It was just boring. All right, Stranded Deep. I feel like it has characteristics I like. And then it's kind of boring, too. I don't know. No, it was really boring. There was some intensity in there. Like, when you got the snake bite and you had to deal with that and you weren't ready for it. Other things like that. So I can't say boring. That's wrong. That's wrong. The discovery system, it kind of felt like when you're getting new stuff, going out and getting stuff, kind of, I don't know. It never became what it was to become. I would probably put it top tier meh. Like battling for top tier meh. I don't know. Like let's do this. We're gonna put it in meh. I wanted you to tell me what spot it needs to be at in meh. Okay. All right. Stranded Deep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many do we have? We'll do a couple. We'll add additional votes. No. Okay. I'm gonna have 1 through 5. And we'll see, and I'll adjust from there, okay? What do I feel? Jumbo Shrimp! I like Jumbo Shrimp, damn it, Heavy. That's funny. I don't care who you are. That's funny to me. All right, looks like we're battling in 1, 2, and 4 right now. Okay. Get your votes in if you've played the game. I'm interested in seeing what you're voting at. 1 and 2 are battling each other right now. All right, it looks like it's now we've got 5th in place. Okay, 1's got to the vote now. 2nd and 5th are in second. All right, it looks like we got Stranded Deep's going to be first on Meh. I mean, Meh has had that whole category has had a battle. I never thought we'd care this much about games we don't care about. Good battle, everybody. That was a good battle on the votes. Thank you for voting, by the way, throughout this whole thing. Okay, so there it is, top of there. Now, Below Zero, the follow-up to Subnautica. I think it deserves to be in the good category, though not that high up. It was a good game. I didn't care for certain aspects of it, but the truck was cool. Like some of them trying to experiment some with the thing was cool. Like experimenting how the game is definitely not Subnautica at all. But looking at these, I don't know. It might be Meh. I think it's in between Planet Crafter and Empyrean, because I would play I would actually play Empyrean before I play Below Zero again. If you want to go by when I would be willing to play, I'd be willing to play Stranded Deep, Astroneer, probably Lens On, Scrap Mechanic Survival before I play Below Zero again. But Below Zero, I finished it. It's not like these other games that are like more sandbox ending kind of stuff. Astroneer has an ending to it and whatnot, so I don't think it's fair on that scale. If I think about it for what the game was, I think between Planet Crafter and Empyrean's a good spot. You know, they did a rewrite of the story like 2 times, was it? For Below Zero. Let me see what y'all think. We're going to go vote on this one too, because this one is kind of, I feel like it's going to be all over the place. Below Zero. I'm not even going to, I'll put it great on there just because. Good. Meh. WTF. No, yeah, but there's still like, it feels limitless when you're playing it. Or Dragon Master, you can go back and grind some more stuff out of it. With Below Zero, you don't. The ending is there's a storyline driven. You're going to each spot. Once you go there, you never go back to that spot really necessarily, in my opinion. But I still think it fits. It's a good spot. I think it's good. Let me go to the bathroom right quick. I'll be right back. All right, where are we at? Oh, Good and Meh. Really? A battle for Good and Meh. So 45%, 45% between Good and Meh. One for Great, one for WTF. Oh, that's it. We're in betwixt. I'm gonna put it after Empyrean, I think. I feel like that's a good spot for, especially looking at the votes. I feel like we're right there at it. And I could probably move it up one, but I'm gonna leave it there. I think that's a good spot. Now, There's only 2 categories that this next game can go into. Throughout its development cycle and the changes they've done and where it ended up at, I fully enjoyed it. It's either in the greatest or great category, IMHO. Also, the mod stuff in there is good. I feel like that is a hard one for me. Those 4 are solid there. And thank you for the WB. I feel like Subnautica is a staple of of survival video games. Like it made its like own niche category, like a Subnautica like. You know what I mean? I agree with you with it's at least better than Grounded. I am with you, but I'm feeling like it almost deserves a higher ranking. It almost does. I feel like it almost does. I didn't mind the prawn suit. The prawn suit was fun. The prawn suit is fun. Oxygen. Let's do this. I want to see what y'all think again. If y'all are in the same boat. If you don't agree with this one, that's fine. So I'm going to do like greatest 1, greatest 2, greatest 3. Right? And then great 1 and great 2, okay? Great 1 and great 2. This is from left to right. So greatest 1 would be the best. 2 would be behind Conan. 3 would be behind Minecraft. And then it would be great 1 would be better than Ark. And great 2 would be better than Grounded. Oh, don't play it in VR unless you want me to throw up. If you don't agree to these choices, that's fine. But it seems like, you know. I thought that was great. There was a lot of pressure at that point for me, Snores. Like, I feel like there was a lot of pressure at that point to really, like I have a lot on the line, and I appreciated that because that pressure, like, you didn't really have that as much, and that was the point where, like, you had to make sure you were, you know what I mean? That was funny, too. That was good. And I love, I keep calling it the Wonder Bread. The freaking spaceship that got shot out the sky, but once you got down like the Spider-Man swinging, down, like it was, I felt like it was good. I think it was really fun. Dang. Okay. Regardless, I feel like it is one of the top games. I disagree with you, Jester, but I hear you. I'm not saying Grounded is not great, but I feel like Subnautica is like the... If I have somebody, hey, I'm trying to get into survival games, what do you suggest? Like, if I had to choose between 2, I would tell them Subnautica before I tell them Grounded. But I respect your opinion on it, Jester. Again, like, not everybody agrees with the same thing. And it's interesting to see what y'all feel about things. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect everyone to agree with what I choose either. Like, there's a hot contention and some Minecraft going on. All right, looks like we're hitting on great 2. I'm not mad at that. I can go with that flow. There it is. You got another addition to the great category. So the next one is called Sunken Land. I liked it. I think it needs more work. It has jank to it and very rough around the edges in an indie sort of survival game way, but it did have some of its own takes. I almost didn't let it cook. But I also think it hit a spot around goodish. You know? Am I more excited to play Sunken Land than I am Palworld? No. Then Nightingale? No. Forever Skies, I'm starting to get in that area there. More than Sons of the Forest for sure. Like, I would probably throw it like right there, maybe. I think that's a good spot. I'm gonna put it there. Sunken Land goes right there. I think that's a good spot for it. I think there's a good spot. Let it cook. Anticipation wise, that's where I am at with it. All right, the next one. I don't know how many of y'all played it, but Survival Fountain of Youth. Again, Total Butter Rate actually got me to try this out on the stream, and we played it, and I actually liked it. I thought the game had some great potential to it, and I would, if I had to put it in a category now, it'd be in a Let It Cook, or I would put it like probably after Below Zero or before Stranded Deep. Personally, I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea or where they think about it, but I feel like it'd be somewhere in there or in Let It Cook. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with this game, or if you're familiar with it at all, like if you've ever heard it before, but I thought it was pretty good. So what it's got so far, it would either be above Sunken Land for the where it would be in Let It Cook, or a high tier meh, or low good. I guess meh's not really, it sounds weird, I guess, when we're doing, but I feel like, let's put it here. I'm gonna put it here right now. Yeah, if you don't know, but I do, and I think it fits right there. All right, The Forest, the OG. I feel like this is next to 7 Days to Die. I feel like this is next to 7 Days to Die. The completed game. It brought in its own nuances and styles too. Remember that game is one of the OGs as well. I feel like it hits good for me. I don't think it beats 7 Days. I think it goes right next to 7 Days personally. I think right here is a good spot for The Forest. I feel like that's a solid position for it. Yeah, several playthroughs, yes. And they did multiple endings on it as well. Not massively changed, but I feel like they deserve their spot. I believe they deserve their spot personally. You know how many scares I had in that game? Yes. Yeah, and I think The Forest is a better completed game than Icarus is. I feel like it's a better game. I feel like as a survival genre defining game, and the gameplay itself that I experienced in it and what I felt when I was done playing it was more compelling for me as a survival game. I feel. And that's not a bad spot for Icarus, in my opinion. The next one is the Vambi game, Jester. If you saw the stream where we played it, the Vambis. I am not going to put it in the Let It Cook category, and you can disagree with me, and I understand. I would play Atlas before I play that again. I'd play Myth of Empires before I'd play that again. But I would play it before I would play Frozen Flame. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to either, Radget. You're living in a good world right now with that. Hollow, you can let it cook all you want, man. When you cook crap, it is only going to be burnt crap when you're done. I'm sorry. All right, next one, Long Dark. A lot of things have good potential. A lot of things do. When I got today, I had good potential on making $1 million. Did it happen? No. No, it didn't. Long Dark is a solid for me. I really enjoy it. This is a little bit different than some of them, but Planet Crafter is a little bit different too. There's no real builderizations, but as the survival game goes, the hunger meter, managing all that stuff, I think it's a Mac Daddy for me. For me personally, it's in great for me. I know people love 7 Days a lot. But I feel like the Long Dark deserves like a great spot. But you still have Hollow Soldier. But you're saying there's a chance. Yes, it's the really cold one, Dresden. I think it's fantastic. I love popping into it when we're like waiting for something to happen, like a new game coming out in like 2 or 3 days. We're finished with our current content. I like to pull this out and play it because it's great for like single sessions or multiple sessions because there's just the intensity. You get some intense moments in it as a survival. You actually are like, I might die, like your character. And then like small triumphs feel strong, feel very strong. Like, yes, you know, like, and I really like that. I feel like it's in great. I personally like the sandbox mode better than the story mode with this. I like the sandbox mode better than that because it feels more like my plane crashed in the middle of the Canadian Arctic. Oh crap. V-Rising is not a survival game to me, Sebastian. It's like an ARPG with some base building, and I don't feel like it's a true survival game, personally. It's a great game. But I really don't feel like it's a survival game in the thing, and I appreciate you asking too. I don't feel like it like I was talking to the mods about it. I don't feel like it was. I feel like it's a great game though. Do not get me wrong, and I like playing it. Survive the sun. Yeah, you got to go eat blood. I'm gonna put The Long Dark up in great. I want to put it there. That's what I feel on The Long Dark because that's such a good game. That's such a good game. Whether, you know, if I were to play it not even on a stream, like it's such a good game. Like I would play it off camera. I enjoy it so much. And on camera, it's great too. Any disagreements for that? All right. Valheim. I feel like it is after Minecraft, before Ark Survival Evolved, or after Ark Survival Evolved. It's all right, Phil. I know you hate me. But yeah, you might say it's taking forever for them to finish it, but honestly, we've still gotten updates out of it. Compare it to multiple other companies, and they're flying out with updates. I want to see what y'all think. I want to see what y'all think. I want to see what y'all think. So what we're going to do... I'm going to just put the greatest for like top one after Minecraft. We'll do great 1 and great 2. And then we'll put none of the above. Now, if you're at great 3 or great 4, if you're in the great category, just choose great 2, okay? If you're like good or below, choose none of the above, okay? We'll do this. Yeah, we'll do greatest 1. We'll do the greatest 1 and greatest 3, okay? How about that? The greatest 3. Because I feel like there's a good amount of people that don't care for Valheim at all, like Phil. For me, I get value out of like those, like in that area right now, almost like ASE, Subnautica, Grounded even too. Wow. I did not expect to see that much on greatest 1. Wow. Greatest 3 is now tied with it. Greatest 2 is winning at the moment. Now, yeah, it's if people still believe it was great, but I feel like greatest 2. Greatest 1 is in second. Great 2 is in first place. Greatest 1 is in second. Greatest 3 is in third. Greatest 2 is winning still. It got pushed ahead a little bit further. Greatest 3 is now in second. Now, if you chose greatest 1 and greatest 3 is better than greatest 2, switch over to greatest 3. Or same thing with great 2, you know, whatever. I don't care. So it looks like great 2 is going to be the winner. This is a close one, though. Get better food, Core. Just picking on you. The greatest 3 is on greatest 2's booty. Time is almost out. It looks like it's going to be great 2 that's going to win. It's going to pull out ahead. Though greatest 1 and greatest 3 combined. Oh, it's tied. It's tied at the end. All right. We need a vote between greatest 3 and greatest 2. This is a good battle. I want this now. I got to see the next phase of this. So the greatest 3 and great 2. Get your votes in. Great 2 or greatest 3. This is a tie-breaking vote right here, y'all. Get your votes in. And if that's what you feel, then vote for it. If you feel like that on that, just give it great 2 then. If there was enough votes like below it, then I would have done something different. But this is where it's even. It's neck and neck. Oh, a little bit more great 2. This is a battle, y'all. Wow. This is probably the highest contention we've had on a game yet. Oh, the whole thing. So. It's crazy that a Unity game is battling out too, like considering, because typically, well, Subnautica's a Unity game too, but typically you get, whatever. I don't know. Looks like Great 2 is going to win. Greatest 3 is not. Is 56% to 44. So Great 2 might be the spot. I'm like neck and neck with Subnautica for me. Like, I think Subnautica is a hard beat. Yeah, but as it stands right now, I don't think it needs to be in Let It Cook. I think it can battle in the categories as is. I guess I should have made a categories like don't like it but respect it. I should have done that too, but it is what it is. Okay, Great 2 1. Is that what you feel, Rothgar? Well, it isn't, and they voted for it. This is what they get. This is what they get for not understanding before they voted. You go ahead, Phil. You can do it. Go ban him. Explanation point and ban Hrothgar Doombringer. You can do good. So, the final run we got. Conan Exiles on top with Minecraft behind it. On great. Ark Survival Evolved. Valheim. Subnautica. Grounded. The Long Dark. Good. 7 Days to Die. The Forest. Icarus. Fallout 76. Planet Crafter. Empyrean. Below Zero. Meh. Stranded Deep. Astroneer. Lens Island. Scrap Mechanic Survival. Rust. Wrath. Green Hell. Soul Mask. Small Land on WTF. Along with Myth of Empires. Atlas. The Infected and Frozen Flame. Let It Cook. ASA. Palworld. Nightingale. Forever Skies. Fountain of Youth. My choices. Sunken Land, Sons of the Forest, Enshrouded Breakwaters. Never played it. Bellwright, Mist, and Muck. I miss Zomboid. I should have had that on here. I should have had Pixark on here. And I should have had Dark and Light, but I forgot those 3. So, yeah, I'll post it. I'll post it. I'll do that. And also, I'll let y'all. I made this a public template. So if you want to fill out your own and send it in the Discord, you're more than welcome to. So how close is this percentile-wise? That's not, I don't feel like that's not as Snores. I don't feel like that's more like, it's, you know what I mean, Snores? I feel like it's, I thought it was going to be, but I don't feel like it is. What percentile of what you see here do you think represents your view? Like, what percentage of it? How close is it to what you feel? Y'all come up with, if you like this, let's get some ideas together and throw it in there. I don't mind. I like doing this. This is fun. Or base building games, you know, so that's not just survival games, but base building games, which, holy crap, almost all this is base building too. That'd be a long ass thing, but it'd be rated by their base building only. 75 to 80-ish for you, Hollow? Close percentage-wise? Jester, what would you rate this at? $80, $90. Thurlow's trying to be the different one with the 50%. That's fine. If you don't agree, that's fine. I'm picking on you a little bit, so that's cool. Same thing for you, Thonto. So 80% on average. I know there's some tiddly stuff here and there and personal favorites for some people too. Like, you're gonna have some personal favorites. Like Pendrag, one of his personal favorites is Icarus. I respect that. I feel like Will really likes 7 Days a lot. I respect that. I like 7 Days. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I didn't put it at the top tier. I hate it. I don't hate it. The only stuff where I start getting into hating the games themselves is when I get to meh and WTF. Once we're in meh and WTF, I'm like, nah. Everything above that, I'm cool with. Mind. All right, that's cool then. Well, Wadget, now you know which ones not to. Dark and Light had so much potential for it too. Talk about potential games. Meh, and with the 100% for you. All right, well, you have to base a lot of your ranks on what you enjoy watching streams of. For you know, okay, you never played a lot of this stuff. I hear you. All right, what I'm gonna do then is let me do a quick break here. Your face misses my eyeballs to look at. What about that, Dresden? I'm gonna put y'all. I'm gonna go break real quick and get up a stretch. I'm gonna go ahead and download this thing. I'll throw a link to it in chat too. So if you want to fill out your own and share the final image in the Discord, you're more than welcome to. That would be fine. I'd be cool, Silver, too.